Before the UFC, before Pride, before mixed martial arts as we know it today, it was Gene LeBell versus Milo Savage. This fight, held in 1963, wasn't just a battle between two fighters, it was a battle between two martial arts, a grappler versus a boxer, and it would set the stage for the future of MMA. Gene LeBell was already a well-respected judoka and grappler. He had trained under the best, competed in national judo championships, and built a reputation as one of the toughest men in combat sports. Meanwhile, boxing was seen as the dominant combat sport in America. Most people believed a skilled boxer could knock out any martial artist before they ever got close, and that's exactly what Milo Savage believed. Savage was a well-known middleweight boxer, tough, fast, and experienced. He and the boxing world believed grapplers had no chance against a professional striker in a real fight. With both men eager to prove that their art was superior, they agreed to a no-holds-barred fight, a grappler versus a boxer, but there was controversy before the fight even started. Savage insisted on wearing small boxing gloves, which many believed was an unfair advantage. On top of that, LeBell wasn't allowed to strike with closed fists, only open-handed techniques and grappling. But Gene didn't care. He was ready to prove that grappling was king. One thing that Savage did give Gene was that he would wear a gi, although I did hear that the gi that he put on was a karate gi. Anyone who trains knows that a karate gi doesn't give you the same grips that a judo gi would. But you had to give it to Savage for at least agreeing to that. Footage of this fight shows that Savage starts the bout by throwing strikes, and Gene, as expected, closes the distance. Savage is able to land some shots to his body and even stop some of LeBell's takedown attempts, which was a surprise to many and showed that Savage intelligently trained for this fight. Inevitably, the judoka did score the takedown and transitioned to the back and locked in the chokehold. Savage struggled, and apparently some say that he did not know how to tap, so he eventually just went unconscious, which is pretty believable as it wasn't in the UFC where he could see people tapping and know what to do when a submission is applied. The things we take for granted. Witness accounts state that Gene LeBell stepped on Savage right after the bout, and that Savage was not able to regain consciousness for quite some time. This upset many in the crowd and started a riot. Gene LeBell had silenced the doubters. Grappling had proven its effectiveness against boxing decades before the first UFC event, but even after the fight, boxing fans and some promoters refused to acknowledge its significance. They claimed the rules were unfair, that Savage wasn't prepared, and dismissed grappling altogether. But history would prove LeBell right. Decades later, the UFC was born, and Royce Gracie was showing the world that submissions and grappling was a force to be reckoned with. Gene LeBell was a pioneer, a true godfather of MMA. Gene LeBell went on to train some of the greatest fighters in history, from Bruce Lee to Ronda Rousey. His legacy is felt in every MMA fight today. This wasn't just a fight, it was a birth of a new era in combat sports. Gene LeBell versus Milo Savage was just the beginning. It proved that grappling could neutralize a striker, but even today, the debate still rages on. We've seen wrestlers and jiu-jitsu specialists dominate MMA, but we've never truly had a prime elite boxer step into the cage against a prime elite grappler with no restrictions. Sure, we've seen some crossover fights. James Toney tried MMA against Randy Couture, but he had zero grappling experience. Conor McGregor boxed Floyd Mayweather, but that was just striking. We still haven't had a true battle of disciplines where a prime elite boxer faces a prime elite grappler in a fair, neutral rules fight. What would happen if we took someone like Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez in their prime and put them against Khamzat Chimaev or Gordon Ryan under hybrid rules? Could a boxer land the knockout before the takedown? Could a grappler close a distance before eating a clean punch? Or would history repeat itself just like it did in 1963? Until the day comes, we can only speculate. But what do you think? Could a world-class boxer handle a prime grappler in a real fight? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time on Tony's MMA Corner.